A concern is mounting among some parents in Bedford about plans to close down middle schools in the town. The council is conducting a consultation on plans to change from the current system of lower, middle and upper to just primary and secondary. Now, Tony Dadd is chair of Save Middle Schools. Morning to you, Tony. What are your main concerns?
Well, we don't think there are any compelling reasons to change, actually, that sort of justify the massive disruption to a generation of children's education.
Right. And are you getting a lot of support for your views?
We do have a lot of support. People are logging onto our blog, which you can Google Save Middle Schools, and you'll find very easily we're #1 hit. We're just about to go through the 10,000 hit mark, and there's a massive, massive groundswell of public opinion against this.
Do you feel anybody's listening to you, though?
Well, it's very, very difficult to say. I mean, we've been to the consultation evenings, and the education officers seem to be repeating the same old mantras and not giving us any answers.
And saying what?
Well, they're saying that educational standards will improve under a change to two-tier, but actually, if you look at the evidence, Northamptonshire, who changed most recently, standards plummeted. They have the most schools in special measures and on notices to improve of any authority in the country.
I mean, they may quote other reasons for that happening. I don't know, but I'm just wondering what's wrong with the standards at the moment of the upper, middle, and lower system. But no doubt, when I speak to the Mayor of Bedford, Frank Branston, in the next half hour of the programme, he'll tell me he seems to be very keen on the going from 3 to 2 tier. Yeah.
Yes, he does. I think he's the driving force behind this. Actually,
are you just hanging on to the old system because it's the old system and it's the one you know? Do you think?
Not at all. I think people ought to look very carefully at the reasons for change. And if you don't agree with change, then you ought to fight that under a reason.
Yeah, but lots of people don't like change. But there again, you see, when we look at the actual results of the schools in the area, it's not suggesting they're better than elsewhere. It's suggesting, if anything, they're not quite as good.
They do say that, but in the consultation document, they made quite a lot of errors in the statistics. Speaking as a statistician, we've been through these results, and they compare apples and pears quite a lot of the time.
Right, so in other words, not like with like.
Absolutely.
And therefore, that could be argued that they're massaging the figures in some ways. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I do think the consultation document is one-sided, misleading, and inaccurate in parts.
Give me a little example of something stated in this consultation document, if you can, off the top of your head.
OK, so they look at the GCSE results for 5 A stars to Cs, including English and Maths.
Yes.
They quote the Bedford Borough average as 46.7%, and the national average is 47.6%, so slightly higher. Actually, the national average includes independent schools in those figures, whereas the Bedford Borough average doesn't.
Right. And if they did, then they'd probably come up to, well, level pegging, if not better.
They almost certainly could, but the point is the consultation document is inaccurate. It hasn't compared like with like.
So given the way this consultation document seems to be loaded, which is what you're saying to me, do you think the consultation actually means anything at all? In other words, is it just another, a bit of something there to placate the likes of yourselves, and then they'll go ahead and do it anyway?
I think it's a classic non-consultation document. It's designed to lead you into one conclusion only. They say they're consulting on either system or an alternative, and yet they only include 18 words on the 3-tier option in the consultation document. And the whole presentation evenings that they've been giving last week at 4 different schools, there's one at Mark Rutherford tonight at 7 p.m. if people are interested, have been biased towards one option only.
OK, I shall put that to the Mayor of Bedford, Frank Branston, when I speak to him shortly. All right. Tony, thanks for joining us on the programme this morning.